We will start down on our backs today. So come to lie down, bend the knees, take the feet about as wide as the mat, and then just let the knees fall in towards one another so they're holding their own weight. Close the eyes, take the left hand to the low belly and the right hand over the heart. Taking these initial few moments to tap into your breath without altering it too much. Allow this moment where you are fully supported by the earth underneath you to set an intention for your practice. Now blink the eyes open. Take the arms alongside you, plant the hands down into the mat. And then walk the feet parallel to one another, knees hips width apart. Shuffle the feet in a little bit closer towards your glutes. And then begin to tuck the pelvis slightly under so you can push through the heels and peel the hips up into a bridge. Keep the gaze up to the sky here. When you reach the top of your motion, lift the arms all the way up overhead so the backs of the hands are gently pressing down on the floor behind you. And then try to keep the arms exactly where they are as you slowly lower the hips all the way down to the mat. Once they get there, lift the feet up off so you can draw the knees in towards the chest. Peel the upper body off the mat, arms swing down in line with the legs, forehead to the knees. And then slowly reset to do that a few more times. So feet down, press through the heels, lift the hips up to the sky. Once they get there, swing the arms up overhead. Keeping the arms where they are, slowly peel the spine back down to the mat. Once the hips get there, lift the knees up in towards the chest as you lift the upper body forehead to knee. Breathing naturally here, just tapping into some mobility and strength work. Lower everything down. Let's do that one more time. Lift the hips up to bridge. Arms go up overhead. Try to keep the shoulders where they are pressed against the mat as you lower the hips slowly down. And then peel yourself up once more into this active crow, firing up our core strength. Keep the legs where they are, but lower the upper body down and tee the arms out in line with the shoulders. Legs are at a 90-degree angle in a tabletop, and then point the right toes up to the sky, straightening that leg. On your inhale, keep the left leg where it is as you open that right leg slowly into a straddle. And then exhale, bring it back up to center. And then switch the legs, bend the right leg, stretch the left. Take the left leg out to a straddle. And then slowly, with control, bring it back through center. Continuing with this, bend the left leg, straighten the right. Slowly, with control, lower that right leg as far out as you can. Then use the adductor strength to bring it back in. Switch to the other side. So lots of core strength here. Use the hands on the mat to press down to help stabilize you as you explore more opening with those legs. Really great way to engage our inner thighs, our outer thighs, as well as start to mobilize the hips and open the inner thighs. Legs both back into center. Draw them in towards the chest, holding onto the backs of the thighs. Take a few rocks up and down until eventually you rock all the way up to sit. Crossing the feet when you get there, make your way into tabletop. Once you're in tabletop, knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders, begin to walk the hands in this cat-like motion back and forth, shifting the weight from one hand to the other and rotating the wrist in all directions. Exploring, transferring your weight at all different angles. And now pause, take all 10 fingers to point back towards the knees and begin to breathe with straight elbows into that deep stretch of the wrists. To ease off a little bit, lean your weight a little bit forward, and then to deepen, you can start to take the hips slowly back towards your heels, maybe lifting the base of the hands off the mat a little bit. And then coming out of that, turn the hands back to a neutral position. Walk the knees back slightly, just enough so that you can begin to roll yourself down into Sphinx, coming down onto your elbows. So the elbows are stacked under the shoulders, arms are parallel. Spread the fingers wide, and then take the left leg out at a 90-degree angle here in a half frog. As you inhale, start to draw the hands back, peeling your chest through the arms, gaze comes up. Exhale, begin to arch the spine, tuck the gaze towards the navel. So inhaling into a cow spine in the Sphinx and exhaling into cat. Getting a bit more into our hips here. Come back to center, extend that left leg back, and then take the right leg out at a 90-degree angle. And repeat, inhaling as you pull the chest through the arms, take the gaze up, and exhale, curl everything in, gaze towards the belly. 2 more times. Right leg goes back, tuck the toes, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, squeeze the elbows up and in back behind you, either pushing up through tabletop or push through the hands and the toes up to a strong plank. And then lifting the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet once you get there. Come to stillness. Inhale, sweep the right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. As you exhale, start to open up the hips, stacking them on top of each other, and bend the right leg, heel towards the glute. And then on your inhale, begin to draw that knee down, and exhale, open it back up. So taking 5 big circles with the hips with your breath. Keep the leg bent. On this last one, hold that knee high, begin to transfer the weight into the left hand and the outer edge of the left foot. The right toes will slowly make their way to the floor behind you as the right arm sweeps up overhead. And then slowly lower the hips down, right knee stays bent, and the right hand comes down as if it's presenting the left foot. Inhale, push through the feet and the left hand, sweep the right arm up overhead for this modified side plank. And exhale, lower everything down. 2 more times, inhaling, lift the hips high, sweep the arm. Exhale, lower down. Last time, lift the hips high, begin to transfer the weight into the left hand and the left foot. As you take that right foot, stack it on top of the left for a side plank. Right fingertips to the sky, keep pushing through the left hand, hips high. Right hand to the mat, square yourself off. And then push yourself back to downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, open and stack the hips, bend the knee. And then with your breath, take 5 big circles with the leg. can allow your shoulders and your hips to move freely here. Make this expressive. Last one. Hold that knee lifted high. Begin to shift your weight into the right hand, outer edge of the right foot. Left toes float down towards the mat. Left hand peels up. And then lower the hips as you present the right foot with the left hand. Inhale, push yourself up to this expressive side plank. Exhale, lower down to begin again. 2 more times. Last one, lift the hips nice and high here. Transfer the weight back into the left foot, left hand. Stack the right foot on top of the left for side plank, fingertips to the sky. And then left hand comes down to the mat, square yourself off to a full plank before pushing yourself back into downward facing dog. And then from here, slowly walk the hands back to meet the feet. Soft bend in the knees here so you can heel toe the feet a little bit wider than hips width apart. Toes are pointing outwards. And either hands on the floor here or hooking on to the big toes with the first 2 fingers and thumb. Begin to sit the hips low into a wide squat. And then trying to keep the belly as close to the thighs as possible. Straighten the legs, fold over the legs. So we inhale as we squat down. And exhale as we forward fold, keeping a soft bend in the knees as needed. Perhaps each time drawing the belly closer towards the thighs, bringing a little bit more straightness into the knees. Press into the fingers with those toes. Last one here, fold over the legs and hold here for a couple of breaths. Push into the mat with those toes. And then free the hands out in front of you, walk the feet out a little bit more, begin to lower the hips all the way down into Malasana squat. Bring the elbows into the inner knees, hands to prayer at chest center, press the hands together to encourage lots of length through the spine, energy shooting out through the top of the head. Reach the hands far out in front of you on the mat. Lower the knees down, bring the legs hips width apart parallel with one another. Walk the knees back slightly, keep the hips high stacked on top of the knees, and then walk the hands far out in front of you, melting the chest down for puppy pose. So fingers spread wide here. You can keep the chin on the mat gazing forward or take the forehead down to the mat. With each exhale, imagine your chest melting closer down to the earth. And then begin to tuck the tailbone slightly so you can roll yourself all the way forward to your belly. Same thing as before, tuck the toes, hands under the shoulders. Either press up through tabletop or through a strong plank. Exhale to push yourself up to plank. And then bring yourself back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we'll take 2 reverse vinyasa flows. So on your inhale, roll yourself forward to a plank. As you exhale, push through the hands, untuck the toes, and lower the hips down to the mat, bringing the chest through the arms, shoulders down away from the ears as you take the gaze up. Inhale, start to tuck the toes, bend the elbows, lower yourself into a strong chaturanga. As you exhale, press through the hands and the toes, lift yourself up to plank and back to downward facing dog. Do that one more time. Inhale, ripple yourself forward to plank. Exhale, untuck the toes, let the hips melt down towards the mat. Push through the hands, chest through and up. Inhale, tuck the toes, lower yourself into chaturanga, a little challenging here. Exhale, push through the hands, power yourself up to plank and back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg sweeps up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the chest and step the foot between the hands. Find your foundation here. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead, and exhale, settle into high lunge. On your inhale, straighten the front leg, sweep the arms back and down. And exhale, bend into the front leg, sweep the arms forward and up, high lunge. A few more times. So inhale, push the feet, straighten the legs, arms circle down. Exhale, reset. One more time. And now from here, slowly lower the back knee, keep the back toes tucked. Take an inhale, find length in the spine. As you exhale, start to cactus the arms, lift the chest up towards the sky, and bring yourself into a back bend. Breathing here. And now slowly with control, start to lift the arms up to the sky, draw the hips back, straighten the front leg, keep the front toes on the mat as you sweep the arms forward and then all the way back, active half split. The floor is right there if you want to put your hands down. Keep engaging the muscles of that front leg. Press through the toes of the back foot to stabilize yourself. Belly to thigh. Bend into that front leg, sweep the arms up. Take the hands down to frame the front foot. Lift the back knee, and as you begin to straighten that front leg, transfer your weight into the outer edge of the left foot and the left hand. Sweep the right leg back to meet the left, stack it on top of each other. Right fingertips to the sky, side plank, Vashisthasana. Keep the hips lifted. Option to externally rotate that top leg, draw the toes up and plant the foot on the inside of the left leg for tree, inside plank. Keep breathing, push through that left hand. And then draw the right hand down, square yourself off, try to keep that foot in tree. Inhale, exhale, lower yourself down, chaturanga, and then release the foot back. Inhale, sweep yourself up. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg up. Exhale, knee to chest, step the foot through the hands. Set your foundation. Inhale, lift the arms, high lunge. Exhale, settle in. So we inhale, straighten the front leg, sweep the arms down and back behind you. Exhale, bend the front leg, arms go up. 2 more times. Last one here. Lower the back knee. Inhale, find length through the spine, reach the fingertips. Exhale, begin to open up through the chest. Take the arms down into cactus for a back bend. And then using the fingertips reaching up towards the sky, bring yourself up to center. Draw the hips back, straighten the front leg, front toes on the mat. Sweep the arms forward and back behind you, folding over the front leg. Keep pulling up the muscles of the front leg, using the back toes to stabilize you here, belly to thigh. Bend back into that front leg, reach the arms up overhead. Hands come down, frame the front foot. Lift the back knee. And then as you straighten the left leg, transfer your weight into the outside edge of the right foot and the right hand. Sweep that leg back to meet the right. Left fingertips float up to the sky. Here we are in Vashisthasana, strong side plank. Stay here or draw that leg up to tree. Pushing through the right hand, lift the hips high. And then option to keep the foot in tree as you circle the left hand down to the mat, square yourself off. Inhale in this tree plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Step that foot back for a regular upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful work. Inhale, sweep the right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the foot between the hands, lower the back knee and untuck the back toes. Breathing naturally here, take the hands to the inside of the right foot as you heel toe that foot to the outer edge of the mat, toes pointed out for lizard lunge. So option here to stay up on your hands, elbows straight, reach the chest forward, long spine. If you'd like to take this a little bit deeper, slowly make your way down to your elbows. Hands can come into prayer, pressing through the forearms. Same principle here, so as your hips sink down towards the mat, imagine your chest shining forward beyond the mat to encourage length in the spine. Come up to your hands if you're down on your elbows. Keep the front leg as it is. Start to draw the hips back as you straighten the front leg and flex the right toes for a wide leg forward fold. Option to stay lifted in your upper body or reach the fingertips forward, folding over the leg, getting into the hamstrings at a different angle here. Same thing, imagine the lower belly making its way down towards the thigh. You take this to your depth today. Now slowly start to bend back into the front leg. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee. Step the left hand forward just slightly ahead of your shoulder and reach the right arm alongside the ear. As you heel toe that right foot out once or twice, keep it pretty close to the front of the mat. Pivot to the outer edge of the left foot. Sweep the right arm up overhead and then slowly sink the hips down to the mat. Right hand presents the left foot. So we're in this side body stretch here. It's a little bit lazy. You can allow yourself to lounge here for a moment. And then begin to push through the feet and the hands, squaring yourself back to the front of the mat. Heel toe that foot into center. Hands stay to the inside of that foot as they walk to the left side of the mat. Open yourself up to Skandasana. So bending deep into that the right leg. Left leg is stretched, left foot is flexed. Hands can stay on the mat or bring them to prayer, engaging a little more strength to hold yourself in this deep inner thigh opening. And then try to keep the hips as low as possible. Simply transfer yourself over to the other side. Hips stay low, transfer back over, bending into the right leg. Left foot is flexed. And now from here, we're just going to allow ourselves to fall gently, to come to sit on our glutes. As we do that, you'll find that your right leg will start to internally rotate. Allow it to do so. The right knee comes down to the mat. Take the left forearm alongside the left shin, sweep the right arm up overhead, reaching for those toes for a lateral stretch. Breathe into the right side body. We're looking to keep the right armpit open so the chest can peel up towards the sky, even if that means coming up onto our left fingertips and releasing our hold of the foot with the right hand, and just reaching the right arm alongside the ear. Continuing to breathe into that right rib cage. Come back up to sit, either keeping your hands on the mat or, for a little more mobility challenge, hands to prayer. Plant the right foot flat on the mat, open up that knee, lift yourself back up to Skandasana, and then square yourself off to the front of the mat. So hands frame that front foot. Step the foot back to plank, downward facing dog, or flow through vinyasa. So inhaling in plank, exhaling chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Moving straight into the other side. Inhale, sweep the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Right away, lower the back knee and untuck the back toes. Breathing naturally here, bring the hands to the inside of the left foot, heel toe the left foot out, and find your lizard. Staying up on the hands or lowering yourself down to your elbows, hands in prayer. Wherever you are, continue to shine the chest forward beyond the mat, lots of length through the spine, energy out through the top of the head. Allow those hips to sink lower down with each exhale. Make your way back up to your hands. Begin to draw the hips back as you straighten the front leg. Flex the left toes up towards your face. And then staying up high in the upper body, or begin to walk the fingertips forward. Fold over the leg. Think belly to thigh. Bend into that front leg, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Step the right hand slightly ahead of the right shoulder and reach the left arm alongside the ear. And then as you heel toe the left foot out, come onto the outer edge of both feet. Sweep the left arm overhead. And as you lower the hips down towards the mat, the left hand sweeps down to present the right foot. Breathing here lazily in this side body stretch. Begin to push through the feet and the right hand. Center yourself off to the front of the mat. Heel toe that foot in. Keep the hands to the inside of the foot and walk them over to the right side, opening up into Skandasana. Bending into the left leg this time, right leg is straight. Flex the right toes. Keep the hands on the mat or bring them to prayer. That left elbow will gently encourage that left knee out as you sink the hips low. Keep the hips as low as possible. Begin to bend into the other leg, transferring over to the right. Hips stay low, transfer back to the left. Now slowly sit the glutes all the way down. Allow that left knee to fall down towards the mat. The right forearm will come towards the right shin as the left arm sweeps up overhead, reaching for the right foot. Again, we're keeping the left armpit open so the chest can peel up towards the sky. If that means coming up onto your right fingertips and releasing the hold of the foot with your left hand, please do so, reaching the arm alongside the ear. Breathing into the left side body now. Lift yourself back up to sit. Hands on the mat or bring them to prayer for that little challenge. Step the left foot down, open the knee, and then lift yourself back to Skandasana. And then square yourself off to the front of the mat. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Push through the hands, inhaling in a strong plank. Exhale, downward dog or vinyasa flow. Now lower the knees down, untuck the toes, sit yourself back in a kneeling position, hands in the lap, close the eyes. A moment to settle and refocus here. Blink the eyes open. And we'll move into crow. So take the hands out in front of you, tuck the toes, and then sit the hips back onto the heels, lift the knees up. Keep the feet together, take the knees wide, and coming up onto your toes, you can begin to nudge the knees towards the armpits onto the backs of the arms. So you can bend your elbows to kind of make their way there. And then squeeze the elbows in towards the body, scoop the belly up towards the spine. Plant the hands in front of you, spread the fingers wide. Come up high onto your toes so you can lift the hips. Begin to squeeze the elbows in as you transfer your weight forward, stacking the elbows on top of the wrists. And then you may find you can float the feet. Keep scooping the belly button in and up towards the spine. Gaze forward, not down. If not today, with practice. Lower the feet down. Take the hands forward so you can lower the knees once more. Come to kneel, hands in the lap, close the eyes. Blink the eyes open. We'll play with another arm balance. Hands to the mat in front of you, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up and back, three-legged dog, point the toes. Exhale, draw the right knee to right tricep, scoop the belly. So inhale, extend the leg up and back, really reach through the toes. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale, extend back. This time, as you draw the knee to the tricep, start to bend the elbows, squeeze the elbows into the side body, shift the weight forward slightly, rest the right knee on the shelf of the right arm. Gaze forward and then perhaps start to float the back toes up. If that happens, start to extend the right leg out for flying splits. Keep squeezing the elbows into the body, scoop the belly. Lower the back toes. Right foot goes back to meet the left. downward facing dog. And then lower the knees down, come to kneel once more, hands in the lap, and settle. Blink the eyes open. Hands out in front of you, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg up, point the toes, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw left knee to left tricep, scoop the belly in, press through the hands. Inhale as you extend back. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale, extend back. This time as you draw yourself forward, begin to bend the elbows, squeeze them into the body. Let the left knee rest on the shelf of your left arm. Shine the chest forward, transfer the weight ahead of you so you can float the right toes up. And then play with extending the left leg, flying splits. Squeeze the elbows in, push through the hands. And then lower the back toes, left foot goes back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Let's come down into a child's pose now. So lower the knees, keep the legs and the feet together. Rest the forehead heavy on the mat. Take the arms alongside you so the hands are beside the feet, palms facing up, and allow the shoulders to completely relax here. Stay low to the earth here, reach the arms forward, and then use your hands to pull yourself forward and down to your belly. When you get there, point the toes behind you, legs together, forehead to the mat, and take the arms out to a T in line with the shoulders, palms facing down. Left hand comes under the left shoulder, bend the left leg, point the left toes to the sky. And then push through the left hand so that you roll onto the right side of the body and the left toes float back behind you to find the mat. So starting to stretch that right shoulder joint. As well, you can play with walking that left foot closer to the right hand for more of a back bend. And slowly roll through center, tee the arms out, right hand under the shoulder, right toes to the sky. Push through the hand so the toes come back behind you, roll onto the left side of the body. And roll through center, hands under the shoulders. Press yourself up and back to a kneeling position. Transfer your weight a little bit into your left leg so that you can extend the right leg out in front of you. And then you'll sit your glutes all the way down to the mat, to the inside of the left foot. That left heel is tucked close in towards the left hip. If this feels a little bit funky for your knee, you can experiment with placing a block under your glutes here. Otherwise, point the right toes, legs are parallel. Stay seated up, or you can walk the hands back to take this a little deeper. You can also lower yourself down onto your elbows, or all the way down to your back. So you take this to a depth that feels okay for your knee, but also feels like a satisfying stretch in your left psoas and left quadricep muscles. If you're on your back, take your left hand to your low belly, your right hand over your heart, close your eyes, and surrender. If you're on your back, prop yourself up to your elbows. And then make your way all the way up to your hands. From here, cross the right knee over top of the left and draw the right foot close in towards the right hip now. So the legs are in half Gomukhasana. Flex the right foot and squeeze the inner thighs together. As you inhale, reach the hands all the way up overhead, bring them to prayer. Exhale, draw them through the center line, begin to twist over to the left and bring the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Breathing here in the spinal twist. So pressing the hands together in the center of the chest, opening the chest up towards the left. You can also just bring the wrist to the outside of the knee for a more traditional spinal twist. So the left fingertips will come behind you on the mat. And lift your arms up, come through center. Hands come beside the hips and begin to set up to the other side. So extend the left leg in front of you, point the toes. Shift over so you can scoop the right leg in. Legs are parallel. The right foot is tucked into the right hip. And then take your depth of half hero's pose today. If you come down to your back, again, bring your left hand to your low belly and your right hand to your heart. And continue to breathe in this deep counter stretch. From your back, prop yourself up onto your elbows. From your elbows, make your way up to sit. And then scoop that right knee in, cross it over top of the left. Draw the right foot in towards the left hip now, flexing the left foot for half Gomukhasana legs. Squeeze the inner thighs together, sitting tall. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, bring the hands to prayer. Exhale, draw them through center, begin to twist over to the right, bringing the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And then pressing the hands together to chest center, breathing in this spinal twist. Again, option to just take the left wrist to the outside of the right knee, right fingertips to the mat behind you for a more traditional spinal twist. Begin to come through center as you lift the arms up overhead and then release them down beside your hips. Stretch both legs out in front of you now, hips width apart, flex the feet. Keep a soft bend in the knees to start. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and exhale, begin to forward fold, reaching for the feet, or you can hook the big toes, the 2 fingers and the thumbs. Inhale, find more length through the spine, and then exhale, begin to fold over the legs, draw the belly down towards the thighs. Keeping a bend in the knees, or slowly starting to straighten them out. Drawing the forehead all the way down to the shins, and then maybe holding onto the backs of the feet. Release the feet, roll yourself up to sit. Reach the arms and the fingertips in front of you, point the toes, and then scoop the belly button in towards the spine as you slowly start to curve through the spine, lowering yourself bit by bit, all the way down to the mat. And then once you get there, take the arms alongside you, hands pressing down into the earth. Bend the knees, plant the feet on the mat, shuffle them a little bit closer in towards your glutes, hips width apart. Same as the start of class, tuck the pelvis under you, begin to press through the heels of the feet, lift the hips high for bridge. Keeping the hips high, reach the arms overhead, backs of the hands to the floor behind you. Keep the arms exactly where they are as you slowly start to lower the hips, vertebra by vertebra, down to the mat. When the glutes come to the mat, peel the feet up, knees in towards the chest, lift the upper body, sweep the arms alongside the legs, squeeze the forehead in towards the knees. Breathing here for one last fiery hold. And release everything down. Legs go wide, arms go wide, palms to the sky. Close the eyes and release into your Shavasana. Allowing the breath to do as it likes, allowing the weight of the body to be held by the earth underneath you. And trusting that there is nothing to be done here. Even if the mind is going, we don't have to grasp at any of it. Everything will still be there for us waiting when we're done our practice. I will leave you to it. Enjoy these moments of rest. Thank you for joining me for this dynamic full body practice. I look forward to practicing with you next time. Take really good care.